How's it going, everyone? Tyler here with another commentary track for you. Today we are going to be watching Space Jam, finishing off, or getting close to finishing off this little summer of sports series we're going to be doing, just watching a lot of sports films. So we're watching Space Jam today. I really had this idea come up because of Little Giants last week. I remember this kind of being in the same vein, same company, same studio, a lot of the same just kind of vibes. So thought it'd be a fun one to just kind of move over from that fun cartoony Little Giants to a fun cartoony Space Jam. So in order to make sure you're syncing up this commentary track, it's going to get past that Warner Brothers Family Entertainment logo. Bugs Bunny pops out. Once that fully fades to black, press play. But for now, just press pause. Full moon. Ivan Reitman. Okay, yeah. That explains why Bill Murray is in this because yeah, Ivan Reitman did like the Ghostbusters movies and Blues Brothers, stuff like that. Could fly. Woo. I believe I could touch the sky. God, this movie is incredible. It had one of the best soundtracks of the 90s. Michael Jordan was at the top of was like the sports guy. So everything about this movie just kind of perfectly came together at the right time. The Looney Tunes aspect is definitely not timely for the 90s. I don't think the Looney Tunes were super huge. I think it was like right before their big resurgence. Cuz I have to imagine after this movie is when like Tiny Toon Adventures was coming out. And I'm pretty sure they brought back the cartoon show at a certain point, but I don't think it was around this movie. My favorite fun fact about this series is that they had plans to do way more. They wanted to do like Skate Jam with Tony Hawk. They wanted to do like a soccer jam, which doesn't really make sense because it's not basketball jam, but they wanted to like incorporate other sports and other sports stars, not just basketball. Could have been cool, but at the same time, you're just doing the exact same movie with different sports and different sports stars. I believe I can fly. God, the opening to this pumps you up so much, man. Here we go. Bugs Bunny. God, the sound effects on those dunks is so good. Slam! Jam! Slam! Jam! Come on and slam! And welcome to the jam! Come on and slam if you wanna jam! Yo, what you gonna do? Hey, yo, what you gonna do? Yeah, this is great. It's showing. I love all the little highlights of showing Jordan play throughout the years. Because you have to imagine most like basketball fans at this time probably didn't even know about his North Carolina days. I mean, they knew he was a big star and won a lot of championships at that school, but I don't think they like saw him play at that school at the time. It wasn't until he became a huge name on the Bulls that people started paying attention and like wanting to like follow him and like know more about his story. God, he was the fucking best basketball player in the world. James Newton Howard, he does like actual movie scores. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance. Do your dance at the Space Jam. All right. I'm kind of I remember watching the Last Dance documentary. It's all about the Bulls and Michael Jordan and all that, and their like 6 champion long season. But I remember him like winning 3 championships. Then he took some time away, and then he came back and won another 3. Is this in? I'm assuming this has to be in that middle point when he like left for a little bit. Because yeah, at the beginning of this movie he leaves. At the end of the movie he comes back. So it's got to be in that small period where he tried to like retire, I guess. All right. If this opening title sequence didn't have such a boppin' like club dance song, you could put like a horror score over this and it would look way different. It would look like the true crime of like this basketball player. He had it all and then he lost it all. Some of it's kind of eerie. Na 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 na. Yeah. I'm gonna try and keep a tally of all the product placements in this movie too. I know there's a lot once Wayne Knight gets involved. There's like a, I guess you would consider it a joke, but it's just him rattling off all the sponsors that probably paid for the movie. So I don't think I've seen any name brands or products yet. I've always wanted to live in one of these worlds, like the Space Jam world or Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The idea of humans and cartoons kind of living in the same timeline in the same universe is really, really cool to me. This one, you got space aliens that are cartoons, and then you also have the Looney Tunes living underground in Earth. I love it. I love the idea of cartoons being real. We're just so separated that most people don't know that they're real. Don't bring me anymore, right? Looks like a cool amusement park, though. I'd give it a try. I've told you 1,000 times. Mm-hmm. I want a trivia question by knowing that Danny DeVito plays Mr. Swackhammer here. Because yeah, the impressive part isn't knowing that it's Danny DeVito. It was the impressive part was knowing that I was able to pull Mr. Swackhammer out of my ass and know that it was Danny DeVito's character. Shoot me. So yeah, they're showing off like old school Looney Tunes. So if I'm imagining if the show had like made a resurgence or like some kind of comeback in the 90s and they were trying to capitalize on that, they would have shown clips of that version of Looney Tunes, not the original classic version. What if they can't come? Make 'em. Cool. Yeah, that amusement park pretty rocks pretty hard. I gotta say. Because this is also, I'm pretty sure, true. I'm pretty sure this is the exact team that he played for when he, because he did try to go play baseball for a little bit. I'm pretty sure he went and played for these Barons, like this minor league team. Love it. Everyone is just such huge fans of Michael Jordan to let him win at anything. They just want him to perform well and look good. Swing. That was your pitch. I'll get you another one. No care for the game's like, oh, I'm playing with Michael Jordan right now. I'm gonna get this guy a hit. That's gotta suck though. You gotta imagine at a certain point you don't want to get special treatment. You want to just try. But at the same time, dude, why did you? I never understood why that was a good-looking strikeout. I never understood why he decided to switch over to baseball. Maybe he was just like curious, like, hey, I'm really good at basketball. Let's see if I can try this sport out too. Unless the plot point of his dad being a baseball player is true, and that's why he wanted to get into baseball. I don't know. It's hard to know like how much of this movie is factual Michael Jordan history and how much is just fabricated for the movie. Perfect character for Wayne Knight to play, by the way. He's really great at these like obnoxious like follower type characters. Hanging on. Are we there yet? I love these alien guys. They're so funny. Bombastic. So Hollow Earth theory is real. In some Hollow Earth, you got Kongs and Godzilla monsters. In other Hollow Earths, you got cartoon characters. Someone's just got to get down there and find them, you know? Is he around? Bugs Bunny, Bugs Bunny. And while this movie is really fun, it captures the tone of the Looney Tunes perfectly. Every scene with them is exactly what it needs to be. But I do wish it kind of had the same like production design as Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The way that they're able to implement the cartoons with real life and real life with cartoon characters, and it's all done practically and everything. It's so interesting to watch and look at that kind of stuff. This movie does not really have any of that. It is just Michael Jordan on a green screen or a blue screen playing basketball against guys in morph suits for the end. And when the tunes come out to the real world, there's not really much like interaction going on with stuff. Because if you watch that original Who Framed Roger Rabbit, when the cartoon rabbit is interacting with stuff in the real world, it's all moving, and the set designers had to figure out a way to make it interact with nothing. You know? Like, that cartoon character is not there, but they had to make these items move like he was there moving them all. So they had to put a lot of thought into all that. There was, like, no thought put into this movie, really. other than Michael Jordan and Looney Tunes. We got $1 million idea here. But I also have to imagine, since it took them like 30 years to make the sequel for Space Jam, so I don't think this did well financially. It was probably a big budget to get Michael Jordan, probably a lot of money to do all the animation, and I know it's become more of a cult classic over the years with kids and like millennials who grew up watching it love it. Oh yeah, Jesus. I completely forgot not about the dog, but this house. Michael Jordan is a multi-million dollar basketball player. Like, he had huge contracts. He made a lot of money doing like product deals and sponsorship deals. He's living in this house. He's living in this Leave It to Beaver looking ass house. Bull fucking shit, dude. Like he'd be in like Chicago in some fancy ass downtown apartment building that costs like 4 million a month. Cause like even if he didn't live in Chicago to play for the Chicago Bulls, he would have moved to L.A. and been living in an L.A. mansion at this point. A 685 batting average? Are you kidding me? He had five at bats and he made contact with two, but he's still batting at a 600. Jesus Christ. How good is that kid? I get it though. I mean, a guy who is in his late 30s probably at this point. He's known for basketball. He is a basketball star. When he is on a team, he wins championships. Like, that is the kind of basketball player he is. He's been playing basketball forever. Did he really think he could just pick up baseball and be good at it? No offense to Michael Jordan, but was he really that delusional at his hype, at like the height of his career, that he thought he could do anything? Where'd they go? So dumb, because even when you're watching a cartoon rerun, it's the Looney Tunes there acting it out in real time, live. And the time period that this is made in, I'm curious if they are hand drawn or full computer animation. Looks like it could be a combination of both, where some of it is pencil drawing, and then they use like digital effects to do like the coloring and the shading, maybe. Because everything has like 3D depth to it more than a 2D animation would, but it still has like that 2D pencil drawing look to everything. Just a sec. We have to. A general Patton reference that every kid would know, I'm sure. I would love a Space Jam where they bowled. That sport would technically still work. They're small. Man, I got something in my throat. They're small enough to where they couldn't like lift a bowling ball or throw it down the lane. So why not bowling? What is basketball? I love this gag too. They did it in dodgeball, where you're playing a modern sport and you use like the oldest footage you can find. Cause yeah, that footage is definitely from like the first years of the NBA, which is so funny. Cause comparing it to what a basketball game looks like now, it's so insane. Hmm, hmm. At the time when I was watching this, I definitely knew who Charles Barkley was. I'm pretty sure I knew who Patrick Ewing was. Bugsy Malone, I know just because he's got a fun name and he's like one of the shortest basketball players in existence. So he was always like a pretty famous dude. Hey, someone's killing someone. And at the time of this recording, it's been a couple weeks already, but congratulations to the Knicks, I guess, on winning your NBA final. He's mine. The Suns. What city is that? San Antonio? Chicago? No, Chicago Bulls, New York Knicks. These guys get really fucked up. Not only do they lose their basketball talent, they lose like all coordination. They lose the ability to do anything. Yeah, you got a lot more than his talent. You got pretty much everything that makes him a functioning human being. I was always curious which alien got which powers because it's kind of obvious for some of them. Bugsy Malone becomes the little tiny pink monster, obviously because he's the shortest one. There's the tall white guy. He becomes the tall blue alien. But then Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, and the other dude. I don't know the third guy that or the fifth guy that gets his powers taken. But they become the green, purple, and orange, and I don't really know who's who. I'm not super familiar enough with their play styles to be able to tell you like, oh yeah, that guy's playing like Charles Barkley, or that guy's playing like Patrick Ewing. Yeah, that dude. I don't know who that guy is. He really did retire in time, because if he was still playing, they would have taken his talent. That was five right there in one sentence. He just dropped five products in one sentence. Ugh. Ugh. I know it's supposed to be like a joke, I think, but what a terrible joke. Yeah, it doesn't really get touched on much, but I like the brief aftermath of like, what the fuck is going on to our players, man? We don't know what the hell is going on. But that's like the only scene that touches on it, and it's funny, but that's the only bit of like, hey man, we're kind of scared about what's going on. These players are going crazy. We don't know what's happening. You know what? I'm thinking the green one might be Patrick Ewing, because he kind of has that. He kind of gets like the same flat top hairstyle that Patrick Ewing has. Maybe I'm wrong there. I don't know. Like I said, two of them it's very obvious, but the other three it's a grab bag of who gets what. Yeah, he's got the flat top like Patrick Ewing has. So I'm assuming that's him. The bald guy must be Charles Barkley. Boo. Man, I really want them to do the bowling movie. Them stealing the talents of bowling stars would have been hilarious. Bye bye. My favorite character in the whole movie. Bill Murray playing Bill Murray. Because they just let him like riff. I'm pretty sure 90% of his lines are improvised. Think I got a shot? No. It's because I'm white, isn't it? Larry's white. Larry's not white. Larry's clear. Larry's clear. I love that. I love that line. Larry, please. Great cameo too by Larry Bird. The idea of him and Michael Jordan just hanging out is so fun. Because they are different generations. It was Larry Bird and Magic Johnson that would go at it. They were like the big rivalry. Michael Jordan was a little bit after that. He hit worse than Bill Murray. Special golf ball magnet. Bill Murray is hilarious in this part. They just have to say like, "What kind of camera is that?" Would you not point that at me, please, and close the lens cap? I'm trying to think if I like this world more than the Who Framed Roger Rabbit cartoon world. This feels more in line with the Looney Tunes. Like this feels like more like the Looney Tunes style world and everything. But the Who Framed Roger Rabbit world is just cartoon chaos. It is obnoxiously loud and everything is full and there's so many people moving around. It's very, very crazy. So they're vastly different tones. But I think I do enjoy the Roger Rabbit world more because there is so much more going on in it. He's playing it very calm for somebody that just got transported to a cartoon world. And yeah, I'm do we talk about the fact that a bunch of cartoons are preaching to a black man about slavery and how they don't want to be slaves for the aliens? Great shot. Cool camera angle in the hole. Probably had to do that by just setting up a camera and then putting a fake golf hole over and then having him stand over it, but still looks cool. I'm gonna give us twos back there. I don't think we were in emotional state to putt. They just don't even care, dude. They're gone. On to the next hole. We've got balls and vitamins. It's from Kicking and Screaming. Will Ferrell. Great movie. Probably watch it soon. I am super curious what Michael Jordan was thinking. I'm so interested in why he decided to leave basketball and go into other sports. Kissing ass, literally. Me too. Well, we're the mean team, wussy man. Yeah, do they know who Michael Jordan is? Actually, they don't because maybe they do because I think at the end of the movie, Swag Hammer's like, "Why didn't you take his talent? He's a basketball player." He's like, "Well, he's a baseball player." Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the ball. Him getting morphed into a ball. It's very weird. The animation is not the best looking. I thought Tweety was gonna step in and be like, "He's not bald." Another banging song on the soundtrack. You ain't Charles Barkley. You just some wannabe who looks like him. Can I play? Basketball Jones. Hell yeah. Baby, ooh. I noticed that Charles Barkley decided to challenge all the girls instead of the boys. Be gone! It wasn't a dream. It really happened. I do remember the scene like make me feel uneasy as a kid. It felt so like I never liked how clinical it was and how they're just like being tested on like rats. It just made me feel uneasy. Mixed with the like the lo-fi beats of the Basketball Jones song. Feels really like makes it feel darker in tone almost. It is kind of serious though. I mean, these guys have lost their ability to do anything. Their whole career and life is gone because of these damn aliens taking their powers. Schlesinger Jim. That's got to be a reference to a old Looney Tune animator or something. I wonder who's doing the voice of Bugs Bunny in this movie, because I'm pretty sure Mel Blanc, who had been doing it in the past, was passed by now. Oh, jeez. They even give her sexy music to walk in on. What were young boys supposed to do against this? Because I loved Space Jam. Never really had a crush on Lola Bunny, so thank God for that. Because I'm never got into the furry scene. Yeah, they drew her sexy. They give her sexy entrance music, and the voice actor is doing a sexy, like raspy voice. All the cards are stacked against you to find that bunny hot, and it's not fair. In 3D land, I do. I wonder if that's true too. If Michael Jordan would wear his North Carolina school uniform under his Bulls uniform for like luck or superstition. So there's a little bit of an effect there. Bugs Bunny interacting with the carpet a little bit. But yeah, now that the cartoons are in the real world, I'm gonna keep an eye out for what kind of cartoon real object interactions they're gonna work with. So far, pretty easy. Keeping it pretty simple. Just a simple walk down the hallway, have somebody open a door behind the scenes. You see any money from all that? You know all those lunch boxes and cups and mugs with our pictures on them? You seen any money from any of that? Uh, no. So for his sneakers, one's just on a table and the other one is on a pedestal. Does he do that all the time? Small interaction there with him knocking that over. So I recommend anyone after watching this go check out some of the behind the scenes making of for Who Framed Roger Rabbit and seeing how they do the scene with like Roger Rabbit and the Weasels, and when they're all walking around Eddie Valiant's apartment, and how they rig all of these things to move for these guys to look like they're holding him and walking around. It's so fascinating. Roll over Beethoven. Definitely never picked up on that joke as a kid, but that's a Beatles song. Yeah, they say never work with dogs or kids. I say it all the time on this channel. Oh, right. Yeah, great. They're kids, so I can't criticize them. It's on the fault of the director and the people working on set that aren't like working with these kids better and be like, Let's get another take of that maybe." Oh, right. Poor lady. I love this shot. I don't know how they do it. How they did it. If this was like a giant hole that they actually made, or if they just like superimposed a small Wayne Knight into a regular sized hole. I guess it was a giant hole that they dug because he's in it right now. That camera angle just made it look so odd. It looks like he's like a fake person in a like he's miniature in a regular sized hole. I guess it was like tilt shifted weird maybe. What's his name? Richard Simmons. What happened to that dude? Did he get canceled or something? I wanna fly like an eagle. Yeah, you think you forgot how to play basketball in what, a year? Probably less. How long was he retired for? Enough time for him to make the press conference, the signal to go to Moron Mountain, them to make the decision to come down and challenge or capture the Looney Tunes. Flight time, however long that is, could take months up to years. Wasn't years. Doesn't bother you, doesn't bother me. I'm slow. I've driven by that in GTA a bunch. Oh my god, that guy on the left. He's from Even Stevens. He's the PE teacher. What's his name? Damn it, I can't think of the character's name. Oh my god. I forgot how fast this movie goes. We're already at the big game. Boom, 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 boom. God, these songs get you hyped, man. Whenever I do a fantasy sports league, I always name my guys the Toon Squad. Doesn't even really matter what sport it was. I like this gag. That the pipsqueaky mouse has this nice announcer voice. Manian Devil. Why did they draw her so sexy? She doesn't need to be doing these poses. If you include the ears. There are so many cartoon characters in this movie too that I've seen maybe once or twice in a Looney Tunes short, but I have no idea who they are. Like that dude in the back with the mobster looking guy with the really tall hat. I feel like I've seen him in a cartoon before, but I have no idea who he is, what his deal is. I'm assuming he's probably like some gangster parody. Like what I'm assuming his name's like Small Capone or something. Hit him low, hit him low, hit him low. Hit him high, hit him high, hit him high. Hit him low, hit him low, hit him low. I wish this album was still available easily. It's annoying that you pay for Spotify and albums are still like unavailable. But it's all licensing stuff, and I'm assuming some of these songs were like made specifically for the movie. Damn, and that alien's tall too. He beat the jump. Yeah, I've seen the behind the scenes of these scenes, and it is just Michael Jordan with a basketball and like three guys around him in green morph suits, just kind of like dancing around. I think it was green. I can't remember if it was green or blue. It might have been blue screens, but who the hell cares? I would imagine it's blue or green screens because he's got blue on his outfit. Get back on defense. Little alley oop. And since we're doing sports films this month, I could talk on the fact that this one doesn't really focus on the typical sports movie formula. At no point are they. I mean, because this is they kind of have the entire sports movie arc during the game. So they all start off really, really bad and not playing well. Then they have a moment of getting better. And then they have their moment of like, oh man, we thought we were good, but they're still kicking the crap out of us. What do we do? The game is so close, and then spoiler, they win. Yeah, I love this song. That's like the Monstar anthem. Damn, dude, they are good. They're hitting slam dunks from the 3-point line. Kind of one-sided, isn't it? Yeah, if he jumps from the 3-point line and makes a dunk, does that count as a 3-pointer? We're gonna be slaves, and Michael Jordan is right next to you, dude. First half. Aren't basketball games quarters? So are they done with the first 2 quarters already? Yeah. He's lucky that he's in a cartoon world right now, or else he'd be fucking dead. So yeah, he gets the Daffy Duck treatment of only getting a little smoky. Interesting set, because it looks real, but some of it looks cartoony. I'm curious, like, how much is real for Michael Jordan and Wayne Knight to interact with, because those lockers kind of look real. But then in these shots, it looks just drawn on. Your secret stuff. Hey, Bugs, I told you I juice on the side as like a confidence thing. I didn't tell you to tell everyone, bro.
Goes against everything I learned in health class.
So either they just needed to believe in themselves, or they were all deeply dehydrated, and that's why they were not playing well. I call it intimidation. Hey, that's cheating, Bugs. You can't have a moped on the court. Man, I always, even as a child, that always bummed me out that the song is like getting good and they cut it when the bombs show up and then they just keep going into like all these different musical stings. I just love that one song. The that y'all ready for this song? This one, yeah. Wasn't this also in Bring It On? Yeah, it pisses me off that they keep like cutting out of the song. I just want the whole game to be with that y'all ready for this song. I love that. The bull is laughing along for a second, and then he realizes, oh wait, it's red paint. I'm pissed. Now here's where Michael Jordan offers him up for slavery. Would he also get the Looney Tune cartoons as well? I would assume so. Black Man in Chains is not a good look, Mr. Swackhammer. Are you sure your park wants to go in that direction? Crush 'em. Hey, Marvin the Martian. I'm excited to check out the new Wiley versus Acme movie. I saw a trailer for it pretty recently and it looked really good. Oh, the skull. God. This yo man. So yeah, this is the point in most sports movies where the bad team just decides, if we can't beat them, and they just start kicking the crap out of the opponents. Also happens, the same thing happens in Mighty Ducks 2 when the Ducks are playing against Team Iceland and they're doing okay. Iceland just starts kicking the crap out of them. Oh, Tweety in a humongous iron lung. I love that gag. And him in a full body wrap. Do you got any more? So how long was he on the court? He's been there for like 10 seconds. Oh no. Michael Jordan's like, "Oh god, I killed him. What am I going to tell his family? Does he have a family?" It doesn't look bad. I got to say for the time period of this, the effect doesn't look that bad. Yeah, that's still as cool as it was when I was a kid. The way that they're able to transition from the 3D model flying around to him falling onto the gurney is very cool. Sir Altitude. I don't think I ever caught that joke either. Dan Aykroyd was in this picture? I don't play defense. I thrive on the pressure. I don't know why, but I always felt like the movie gets a second wind when he shows up. Need you to do a good gut check. It's gut check time. Longest 10 seconds in the world. Never mind. Yeah, the idea of a human using cartoon powers is so. Ugh. Ugh. They had to do a super wide far shot because that arm did not look good. God, this movie moves so fast. I guess that was another reason why I wanted to do this one today. It's a little bit of a shorter movie. I think it's like barely an hour and 20 minutes. I'd love to, but I have to ice down my knees right away. I love Bill Murray. Than we used to be. Poor guys were so stupid they didn't realize that they could beat the crap out of their boss now. Was that Madison Square Garden? So yeah, was this game was in the Toon world. They shot him through the Earth's crust into outer space? It's very convenient that the talent knows who to go back to also. Can you imagine when all the basketball players get their talent back, all of a sudden Charles Barkley has the talent of Bugsy Malone? Yeah, I'd love to see the alternate ending where the players get the wrong personalities and they like body swap. God, this movie is it rushes through everything, man. Like it went so fast. All of the cartoon stuff is wrapped up now. He's gonna come play baseball and then give the guys their talent back, go back to basketball, and then the movie's like done. I believe I could touch the sky. So now that we're getting closer to the end, I guess I gotta give some ending thoughts. Watching it now, I gotta say there are parts that still hold up. It's still super funny. All the cartoon stuff is still really, really good. The music throughout the movie slaps. You can't beat it. Every song in it is a good one. It's just so short and it just feels so rushed. But it is a kids movie, so I don't really think they were caring about much other than just let's get to the cartoon stuff and the basketball game. But then at the same time, they fill the movie with a random scene, like montage of them going and getting tested. There's so much mysticism right now going on. I caught it. This must have been a fun day for filming for them. They all just hanging out, playing basketball. God, that dude is fucking tall. He had to jump like a foot to slam dunk. But yeah, this is very enjoyable for what it is. I love the cartoony slapstick humor. I just wish it was a little bit longer and a little bit more focused. Because as quick as we get to the basketball game, it's over just as quick. There it is. Another weird song choice. I mean, they've used it a couple times throughout the movie, but you would think you would want to end it on a little bit like more upbeat note. Hmm. All right. Well, that was Space Jam, guys. I'm sorry it was super short. I'm sorry I didn't really have much to say about this one. It's just not a whole lot. I'm realizing not a whole lot goes on. It's just quick scenes of just Michael playing baseball, Michael playing golf, tunes talking to the aliens, alien scene. It's just like just short little things that move the plot along, and then you get to the basketball game, and then everything's just kind of done pretty quickly. At least it's better than the second one. I remember the Space Jam 2 just being an absolute mess. It didn't make any sense. The basketball game wasn't fun. The music wasn't good. So at least this one has some good things going for it. It has a great soundtrack, Michael Jordan at his peak. Even the Looney Tunes were probably at this point making a pretty big comeback, I would say. Kids in the 90s were growing up with like cartoon reruns and all that stuff at this point. But we're nearing the end of this little summer of sports. We probably got like maybe one sports movie left, and then we'll swap it over to some other stuff. Not quite sure yet. We'll figure it out when we get there. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. We'll see you around. Bye.